Hi, everybody, and welcome to week 13 and the final stretch of the class. I hope you all had a good Thanksgiving and got a little bit of a chance to rest. And having said that, though, I do know that based on a lot of conversations I've been having lately, that there are a lot of stressed out and overworked students out there right now. And I think that having school all online, having the pandemic raging on, and the stress that goes with that has taken its toll on a lot of people. These are hard times. And I would like to make the class as comfortable as possible for all of you so that we can make sure that you all pass. But with 3 weeks left, it was a little hard to figure out how to do that. But I did make some small changes to the assignment description for this last writing assignment, and I will talk a little bit about those as I talk about the assignments. A couple other things I want to bring up. I know that some of you still are struggling to get the research paper done, and that's okay. We don't have late penalties in this class. That being said, though, late work does need to be turned in by the end of week 14. And if it isn't at that point, we need to start talking about an incomplete. And you don't want an incomplete because then you're carrying the class over into 2021. And I'm sure you just like to be done with that at this point. So do work on that. I'm happy to work with you. So is the library. Also regarding late work, if any of you are concerned about zeros in the gradebook because you didn't turn in something perhaps or missed it, do know that those can be changed. I am happy to accept late work for those items. And if you have any trouble getting into MindTap or something, or if you have a question about any previous assignment, let me know. And again, make sure it's done by the end of week 14. The only thing that can be accepted in week 15 is this essay that you're going to be working on right now, and that's due by Wednesday of week 15. And let me see if there's anything else I needed to mention. No, I think that's it. It's just hang in there. Three more weeks and one more short paper, and then you're done, at least for a little while. So let's look at the assignments for this week. So your first assignment is to go back to the discussion board that you worked on last week, in which you talked about your reaction to the Hmong videos, and reply to 2 people. And the reason for this assignment is that there was some really good stuff there, and I think that you would benefit from reading other people's work. So I'm going to ask you to go back and just read the entries of 2 people. They can be people in your group or people in other groups, and simply reply telling the poster what you appreciated about what they wrote. And you can, as I said, go into other groups, because what I'd like you to do is try to find postings that don't have replies yet, or that have only one reply, and that way everybody gets a little bit of feedback. So just a simple statement, couple sentences, tell the writer what you appreciated. So that's assignment 13A. And then assignment 13B, I recommend you do in small chunks, because there are 3 lectures here. The middle one is kind of long, and these are all lectures about the compare-contrast paper that you are going to do. And please watch these, because I think they will put your mind at rest about a lot of things. I think they will give you some ideas if you're not quite sure you want to write or what you want to write about yet. And so helpful stuff, I hope. I want to take a quick look at the compare contrast essay and rubric document here and just show you some changes I made from last week to make it a little bit easier. A couple people indicated to me that they just really didn't feel comfortable writing about history or writing about their families, and that's okay. So what I did was I added a second option here. If you prefer not to do an essay on history, you can do a comparison of some aspects of Hmong culture versus another culture. In other words, you're writing about culture versus history. Now, what is culture? Culture is literally everything about the way we live. It's art, music, religion, sports, festivals, rituals, food, family traditions. And if you want to compare something from traditional Hmong society to something from your ethnic background, you can do that, or you can compare it to some other ethnic background. And here's an example. You can compare Hmong weddings to the dominant wedding style in the United States if you want to. You could compare the Hmong animist religion to the religion of another group. Another thing to emphasize about this assignment is to narrow your topic. I'm not going to dwell on this because I dwelled on it in one of those long lectures, but I do want to point out one thing. This rubric looks quite different from the rubrics that you've seen before in that it is heavily weighted towards sentence skills, grammar, and mechanics. And that's what we often do in the department on the last essay. The first part of the class is really all about expressing yourself and writing and picking up a few grammar skills along the way. But you do need to demonstrate those grammar skills in your use of the handbook by the end of the course. And so this is a paper that you will want to thoroughly edit, and you may want to submit to the Online Writing Center. You may want to have several people look at it so that you can be assured that you've got those grammar, mechanical, MLA skills down. So that's what I wanted to mention about that. Let's go back to Blackboard here. So you're going to listen to those 3 lectures, and then you're going to conduct research. Now, for your research, you can use the videos that you watched last week as one of your sources. I've also attached a list of possible sources that you might want to use. So it's possible you won't have to do any digging on your own. I also reduced the number of sources for this assignment to 2. If you find 2 good sources that have good examples and good human stories in them, that's probably all you need for this essay. On the other hand, if you find 2 encyclopedia entries that are just full of facts, you probably need to do a little more digging, because the success of this assignment really depends on illustrating your points with really rich detail and stories that tell, or rather show rather than tell. That's how we understand a culture, through its stories. And so you'll want to find some sources that help you do that. And finally, submit a detailed outline. You've done this before, but by Saturday, you should have an idea of what it is that you want to say and the order that you're going to use to say it and the sources that you're going to use to add in, and put that all into a detailed outline and submit it here. And that should be an incentive for you to get organized enough to get started writing in week 14. So that is the assignment list for the week. Now, because your final essay is due in week 15, by Wednesday. I would suggest that if you've got some extra time this week, to go ahead and just start writing. Yeah, do the detailed outline um, and get started on the writing, and that way you can be assured that you will be finished with that on time. Let me know how I can help. I really want to help. Um, and you also are aware of the resources the library has. The librarian is happy to help you with sources. The Zoom room is happy to help you with anything regarding your writing. So have a good week. Again, let me know how I can help. And I am looking forward to seeing what you have to say.